Hey, what's up, everybody, and welcome to Nintendo Dads, recorded on June 1st, 2023. On tonight's episode, we're going to talk about Nintendo dropping bombs, cease and desist orders, brand new tweets at 8 p.m. right before the show announcing games and Joy-Cons, backer surveys going out for Sea of Stars, registration being open for PAX West and Nintendo Live 2023, and so much more. Jesse, you know what to do. Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Nintendo Dads joining us on the show tonight, June 1st, 2023. It's just me. Well, not just me. It's actually me and Jesse Waldack. How you doing, buddy?
And me.
It's me. What?
I'm doing pretty good. It's been kind of a quieter week at work over what it's been the last several months. So I think a lot of people are starting their vacation cycles. So calls that I normally have are getting canceled, and I know I've got what would have been E3 week. I'm still taking off of work, so I've got that coming up in a week and a half.
Yeah,
kind of looking forward to taking a break.
That must be nice because summer's winding up here for me. And as Tim clickbaitedly, is that a word? Clickbaitedly? Can you do that?
It is now. You used it.
It sure it is. He sent out, a tweet earlier saying, "Come hang out with Marty before he leaves us." I'm not leaving. I'm not going anywhere. But in actually, I am. I'm going somewhere for like 2 months. This is my final show until the 1st of August. I don't know. I was talking to my wife about it earlier, and she was like, "What do you mean you're not going to be on the show the whole summer?" And I was like, "I'm going to be gone here, and then this week we have something, and then this week we have something. I'm going to be gone here and here, and then we're going to be gone for 2 weeks for vacation, so I can be on the show on July the 14th. That's it.
1 week.
I think that's the right dates. I don't know, but hopefully by that time there'll be a ton of stuff that happens. There'll be a ton of games that I've played, and I can come back and we can have like a big reunion, a Nintendo Dads reunion, and everything will be okay.
It'll be November all over again.
That's right. Yeah, except it'll be online, and everything won't smell like rats and pee. So yeah,
that's a bonus.
It is a bonus. Maybe there won't be an exploding chocolate donut either. That was not a fun experience. It was a delicious experience, but not a fun one. Unable to be on the show tonight. Justin is not able to be on the show. Tim also, because he had some power trouble last night, which caused him to not be able to do some necessary things for work. And so Tim is off doing some work tonight, doing a rollout with his job. And so there's a lot going on there. And both of them hate they can't be on the show, but here we are. And we, thought that we were not going to have a whole lot of news. But then Nintendo rolls up at 8 o'clock and is like, haha, peace, and drops some brand new stuff that we're going to talk about here in just a minute. But I think that's about it. Let's get right into the news, shall we? All right. Our news is brought to us each and every week by you guys over at patreon.com/Nintendo Dads, where for as little as $1 a month, you get to join up with the greatest online community in the world and be a friend of the dads. And I mean, what better thing is that to be a friend of the dads? So $1 gets you in the door, $5 gets you, wait.
What?
You said wait.
No, I said sweet.
Oh, sweet. I heard wait. You said sweet. I don't know. $5 gets you the whole slate of Discord channels, all the sub channels in there and everything. $10 gets you the pre and post show audio from each week, as well as a sweet collector's card periodically throughout the year with some exclusive art that we have done. And $30 gets you on the show as a Patreon producer, and you get to be on the show. You get to bring your own topic. You get to host the show. It's a really cool thing. And so encourage you to head over to patreon.com/Nintendo Dads and sign up today if you're not. And as a bonus, all Patreon subscribers get ad-free episodes. That means you don't have to hear Manscaped ads. You don't have to hear any kind of other stuff. If we get sponsored by anyone else, like Gooder or other people we've been sponsored by, you just get unfiltered Nintendo Dads right into your ear hole.
Yeah, that Krispy Kreme, not Krispy Kreme. What was it? Crumble cookie. That one we thought that was going to happen, but that never did.
It did. They sent us a free 6-pack. You remember that? We didn't. They sent us the free code. No, I took that. That was wonderful.
Okay,
that was we enjoyed that very much. Crumble, if you're out there, I haven't had any cookies in a while. I would love to have some more. We'll talk nice about you. So send us over some codes. Yeah, the NintendoDads@gmail.com. Any offerings are accepted. Speaking of offerings, can I just say something really quick? By the way, a few weeks ago, I had a chance to be on a Zoom called Dad's Play 2 with Nintendo, where we got to see some upcoming games. This was prior to the release of Tears of the Kingdom, and we got to play Splatoon 3 with some folks and had a great time. And they sent me a nice little swag bag or swag box that we showed off after that. Had a Splatoon hat in it, had a really cool Mario like water bottle. Or actually, I guess it could be coffee as well, just like a vacuum sealed tumbler. And also inside, I got a Splatoon 3 controller. And I was like, I already have one of these. And so I'm not going to name names just because I knew that there was a listener of the show who was looking for one of those. And so I messaged them and I was like, hey, I have this. How about I just send it to you? Like, I don't need it anymore. And they were like, look, I'm gonna give you something back. I was like, no, you're not. I'm not. This is a gift. and they were like, well, what if mine's a gift? And they know who they are that was talking about this by this point. They know. So anyway, I sent them the controller. They sent back the sweetest care package. One thing that was in the care package was, if you remember a few weeks ago on the show, I was looking for the Hot Wheels Super Mario movie van. Well, they found that, and they sent that. Inside it was also a really nice, like vacuum sealed, like little 10-ounce glass, some peanut brittle, some Mario stickers, and other things. Like I've got them right here. I'm going to show you. Like I got this really cool Mario sticker right there, and I got a Yoshi sticker. Oh. There he is. There's Yoshi, and also some impressed. Yeah, some stickers from the local area where they're at, which happens to be the Clemson, South Carolina area. So really cool. If you send it, you know what? This has all just been to say, if you send us stuff, we'll talk about you on the show. It's just a way of getting you to send us stuff. You know, one of my favorite wrestlers, I'm actually wearing his shirt right now, Danhausen. People just mail him stuff, and he does YouTube unboxings of it. I volunteer as tribute. I will do that for Nintendo Dads. You send us stuff, I'll unbox it. I like Transformers. I like Legos. Nintendo, obviously. Coffee, candy. I don't know. What do you like, Jesse? Let's just go on. I mean, why not?
I don't know. That's on the spot question. Snacks, I guess. I don't like coffee. I'm probably harder to shop for.
Do you like barbecue?
I do.
You like seasonings?
Yeah.
I know that you like to cook because you've mentioned cooking before.
It depends, on my mood.
Okay. Yeah. It's kind of like me. I like to grill. I don't like to do any of the other stuff.
It's getting harder and harder for me to just stand around in the kitchen. It sucks getting old.
Yeah. Oh, trust me, because boy, did we have a big event last night, and I woke up this morning feeling like I was going to die. I was like, I stood up too much yesterday.
Right.
I don't know. Anyway, enough about us. Head over to patreon.com/Nintendo Dads and sign up to be a part of the community. And thank you, mystery gifter. You know who you are. Let's dive into the news here. Registration is now open for PAX West and Nintendo Live 2023. Nintendo Live, of course, is going to come at you straight from Redmond, Washington, or wherever they're headquartered now. I think it's Redmond. And it's in September. So big things happening there. I still think this is where we're going to get the first look at Switch 2. I really do. I just want to keep saying that so that when it happens,
you wanted to will it into existence.
Barty was right. Barty was right. You know, give me a little thing there. But anyway, a lot of other people think I'm wrong, but I mean, what's new? PAX West obviously will emanate out of the same area. And Jesse, if I'm wrong here, you can correct me. But PAX West and Nintendo Live are kind of at the same time. Is that right?
Yeah, they're actually in the same venue. They're in the same building.
Oh,
but
wow.
They're
okay.
But admission to one does not grant admission into the other. So you have to be ticketed separately. And Nintendo's
that would be easy.
And Nintendo's ticketing, I think you'll be designated a time slot, and or at least a day to visit. Where PAX West is 4 days, and depending on how you register, you can pick. It's like, I don't remember the exact dollar amount. We talked about it last month, but it was like $70-ish for a 1 day pass, or $250 for all 4 days.
There will be a Nintendo pop-up store at Nintendo Live that will have exclusive themed items. This is on their website. There will also be photo ops. You will have character meet and greets with Mario, Luigi, Princess Peach, Tom Nook, Isabelle, KK Slider, Kirby, and other Nintendo characters. The Super Smash Brothers Ultimate Mural, which will have the extended artwork of all the characters. You will have an Animal Crossing New Horizons Island. Yeah, that's going to be a big wall.
113 characters. I don't know how many there are.
Also, Animal Crossing New Horizons Island themed space that you can relax in, and game-inspired sculptures from Kirby and the Forgotten Land, an item gallery from Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, and more. Also included in that photo is the Link with his hand from Tears of the Kingdom, so you know that's going to be there as well. Also, tournament qualifiers are going to be going on leading up to that. First qualifier will be held June 3rd through the 4th for Splatoon, with another one on 10th and the 11th. But there will be the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Squad Strike Challenge on the 1st, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Championship qualifier at Nintendo Live on September 2nd, with a Deluxe Championship to follow, a Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Amiibo Plus Me exhibition, and a Splatoon 3 championship. There will also be Super Mario musical performances live on stage and Zelda musical performances live on stage. And games. Nintendo Switch gameplay, the Mario Dojo, and the Nintendo Switch Online Classic Zone, which is going to have retro games. All this to say, they're making an awful big deal just to say, hey, don't you like Nintendo?
Right.
I mean, come on, y'all.
With supposedly no announcements.
Right. In fact, I'm going to say, does this not normally coincide with their September Direct timing?
I think so. I think it's normally like the second week in September. So this is a little bit earlier.
So
than that.
I'm thinking that, there's got to be something. Maybe it's not going to be the next Switch or the next whatever, but there's got to be something.
I don't know. The fact that you can't just be there the entire time, makes me think that they're probably not going to announce anything, because I would be upset if they announced something on Saturday, but my ticket was Sunday, so I couldn't be there for the announcement.
You know what, Jesse? They do that all the time at a place called Comic-Con.
Oh,
I mean, like there's announcements every day at Comic-Con, and if you just, if you're not there when they announce Iron Man 3 or whatever, it sucks to suck. You just watch it on YouTube.
Yeah, I
if you're not there when Josh Brolin comes out and introduces Thanos, you're just sucks to suck, right? I mean, that's what it's going to be here. I look. I say I'm going to shoot my shot. This is it. Nintendo's going to do something big here. There you go. Anyway.
We shall see.
Not a whole lot else to talk about there, but it's a really cool event. I wish I could go, but I cannot do it.
Yeah, that's the
fact
it's
Labor Day weekend, and that's...
Yeah, and the fact that I can't say I want Saturday tickets, they pretty much picked the date. So I'm like, I can't plan travel around that. I think Justin did submit a registration.
I think he's trying to go. Yeah, for him and his girls. Yeah, it'd be really cool. I really do wish I go, but with it being Labor Day weekend, that's a huge weekend for us. We do a yearly event every year on Labor Day weekend, and it's like one of the biggest things we do for our students at church, and I cannot miss it. So, and that plus on top of that, that's a long way to fly.
Yeah.
For me, that's a long way to go.
Yeah, it's more so for you than me.
Yep. So let's shift off this and talk about some other Nintendo-y things. Nintendo has issued a cease and desist request to Steam regarding the upcoming release of the Dolphin emulator. Now, normally emulators are considered safe because they don't include ROMs or any BIOS information with it. However, Nintendo looked through the source code and they found the Wii Common key, which would be considered an item that is subject to copyright. Wii U's emulator, along with other emulators, requires the users to supply their own BIOS files that the emulator uses. This is why Dolphin is not going to be able to work. And there's been like a lot of noise about this. So Jesse, help us wade through this, because what is such a big deal about this? And can we, like, how is this not like, so many people are like, yeah, we just love to steal Nintendo games. That's kind of how I feel about it.
Yeah.
They're mad that they can't steal.
Yeah. Emulation has always been kind of a gray area. I don't think it's ever really been tested in U.S. court. It was like normally if a company threatens lawsuit, there's normally a lot of backing off, so it doesn't get that far. Nintendo has the funds and resources to go there. Most developers are usually hobbyists, not professional coders, so they don't have those resources. So, but no emulator ever says how to get ROMs. They just say, find your own. And there are resources out there. We're not going to explain how to do that, but you can rip your own games if you have a modded system, which again, Nintendo isn't a fan of that either. But that has been tested in court. Basically.
In fact, did Nintendo not just update the 3DS, which is dead? They've discontinued it. Did they not just update the 3DS homeware to block homebrew
to block an exploit? Yeah, but I think it's still a different exploit was found. I think I haven't really followed up on that story, but yeah, so they're still tracking that down. So, but yeah, it's like modding devices you own. That has been tested in court and was found that the owner can do what they want with it. It's their device, but but in terms of like source code or encryption keys, those would be they're subject to copyright, just like a chapter of a book is subject to copyright. You can't just copy that and give it to someone, which is but since the Wii Common key was in the source code, pretty much readable, plain readable text if you know what you're doing. I think Modern Vintage Gamer was talking about it last week, earlier this week, and while he did show some of the code, he blurred out the part that showed the key, because obviously he would be breaking copyright if he showed it as well. But at least he verified that he could see the Wii common key. But yeah, that is just a big oops, and kind of surprised that it took this long for that to be found. I think people doing research, I think, found a Reddit post in 2020 or 2019 saying, "Hey, this is here. This is probably not good. You might want to clean that up," and they never did. Now that we're in 2023, But yeah, so
it's just interesting. It's interesting to me that an official platform like Steam can serve emulators to people. Like, how can Steam do that?
Well, again, if the emulator was written in a quote unquote clean environment, no copywritten code, then it would have been fine. In fact, I just found out that the Switch emulator is getting an Android release. If you want to mess with touchscreen buttons,
you can release anything on Android though. They don't care. It's like the Wild West over there.
Yeah, but the weird part is Steam actually reached out to Nintendo and says, "Hey, are you okay with this?" And Nintendo says, "Of course not," and asks them to take it down. So they take it down. But now that this has been found, and the encryption key is actually in the source, this has a chance of not just stopping at the Steam release, but actually being, taken down the project in whole until they, fix it. So it's again, clean code. And, Dolphin's been around originally as a GameCube emulator almost 20 years ago. And then because the Wii is basically a Dolphin on steroids, a GameCube on steroids. It didn't take much to also add Wii functionality to it, but again, it included the common key, and that shouldn't have happened that way.
Yeah.
So hopefully they fix this, but this is a problem that they put upon themselves.
Yeah, and I would argue too that part of the issue is Nintendo's continuing like really weird views on releasing retro games and making games available and archiving games continues to make the emulation argument one that's a hot button issue. It's a hot button issue anyway, because if it's done just outright, like I'm emulating games, I'm just downloading games off the internet, it's theft. It's property theft. It's intellectual property theft or IP theft, whatever you want to call it. But beyond that, some people will say that its emulation is necessary for archiving purposes, which I do think that, like movies, games should be archived. I think that there should be something there for preserving them, which is why I'm glad we had the folks on last week that are all about that.
Right. But, as I think we've talked about this years ago when the whole GigaLeak thing happened. The whole point of the GigaLeak was to put out information that Nintendo had archived. They had preserved it themselves. It doesn't mean that it's publicly available, but it is.
Well, and not every company's archived stuff needs to be publicly available.
Right.
Just because it's digitally archived doesn't mean you should have access to it.
Yeah. Right. But people are saying that preservation means access. And I said it back then, and I'm saying it now. That does not mean the same thing.
Well, I agree with that.
Something can be preserved even though you can't touch it.
Mm-hmm.
And really part of. Go ahead.
I was going to say one of the reasons we need to acknowledge that is that, or there's something that we need to acknowledge as we say that is part of the preservation efforts in that sense is we're preserving this so we can remake it later and sell it to you.
Right. Yeah. So part of Nintendo's official statement about this was saying that they believe emulators are illegal because it lets you play illegally downloaded ROMs. That's where, the legal gray area that hasn't fully been tested in court yet. And, no one wants to be that first person. Me, not a lawyer, think, the emulator itself is fine. It's a good way for homebrew people to test out and play games that they've written. But obviously, yeah, download Tears of the Kingdom to play it. That's not kosher.
No, and that's what, like, I've seen people who are bragging about playing Tears of the Kingdom on their PC. It's like, I didn't even buy it. It's like, well, you're a turd. I mean, like, that's turd behavior. It's like if you claim to love Nintendo, but also I'm stealing games from them. You don't love Nintendo. I'm sorry. And I mean, people can get mad about that or not. It's just, why take money away from them because you want to just play? I'll play the game early. Okay, great. Now go buy a legal copy.
Yeah, and while Nintendo in the past has gone off after the distribution sites using DMCA, so to take down ROM publishing sites and whatnot, they haven't really targeted the end user. It doesn't mean they won't in the future. Like if you are a Twitch streamer and playing something on an emulator, it's obviously running on your PC. They could go for you directly.
And never forget that part of the reason we don't get games early access anymore, like, because we do get games from Nintendo. Part of the reason we don't get games early access is because some jackanape out there got Mario and Luigi Bowser's Inside Story remake early and like leaked it to the internet a week beforehand. Right. And then they were like, well, nope, clamp it down, and now you can't have them until day of. Now, I'm still thankful, incredibly thankful that we get, review copies from Nintendo, but like, we're not on the list of people who, like it became like official news outlet media only, like you have to be Game Explain or IGN or My Nintendo
Game Explain
News
is kind of still pushing that
early.
boundary. They're not a publication; they're just a YouTube channel. But
yeah,
they're a big
super
YouTube
well known
channel.
I was going to say there's a lot of eyes on over there, and Nintendo wants that. So, and I don't blame them. I mean, Andre and the team kill it over there, so not a big deal. But anyway, don't emulate games, folks. That's the Nintendo dance. I don't know. Anyway, new Kickstarter from Nintendo Force is going to has been set up to sell a book called The Impact of Iwata. This was made available this week and has already met the campaign's goal of $29,000 in less than 2 days. There's stretch goals for each $10,000 after that, all the way up to $59,000. The first is a wall poster at $39,000 that will come with a copy of the book. And if you're interested in this, campaign ends on July 13th at 5 p.m. Eastern. You can just go Google Kickstarter Impact of Iwata, and you'll be able to see that and pledge. And Tim has already pledged, and I plan on backing it as well. So it should be a great book.
I've backed it. I just checked again. They're up to 32,000. So they're almost halfway to that first stretch goal.
Yeah, they're going to make all of those stretch goals. They're going to do it all. And so we're going to help them. So anyway, head over there, Kickstarter, search Impact of Iwata, and back yours, get a copy. Really cool thing for Nintendo Force to do. And if you're not checking out their magazine too, by the way, be sure to check that out. Along with, I got my first, I didn't mention this on the show yet, but I got my first physical copy of Hand Drawn Gaming, the newsletter that he sends out, Philip Summers sends out, and it was the Mega Man issue. Oh, it's so good.
I'm glad you got
it's really cool.
I'm glad you were able to get that one. I got that too, but I thought to myself, I don't have anywhere to put magazines anymore, so I ended up going out taking myself off of that list.
Do you have the Mega Man one?
Yeah.
Because what I would love to do is frame it front and back. So maybe we'll talk. If you want to get rid of it. If not, that's totally fine. I'll do the inside. It's really cool. And you should go support Philip. He's a great guy. Speaking of Kickstarter, backer surveys have started going out to backers of Sea of Stars, which is coming out later this year.
Yeah, that campaign was 2020.
I know. And look, it's still going to come out before Hatch Tales. So Sea of Stars will be out, I believe, fall 2023. And right now they're slow rolling out the surveys. So if you're a backer and you haven't gotten yours yet, don't worry, it's coming. But the survey deadline is July 3rd. So it should be sometime within the next couple of weeks. Yeah, get that in, get your rewards on time.
The release date is August 28th.
Oh, okay. So I would imagine backers will probably get it a month ahead of time, at least.
I think they're shooting at around the same time.
Or 2 weeks.
Yeah, I don't know if we're going to get it that much earlier, but definitely it is. See, I don't know if it's all tiers. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest with you. Like, I don't really like that for any game. Like when Mighty Number 9 came out, the same week that backers got it, I was ticked off. I was we should get it at least 2 weeks. We should have it 2 weeks before.
I forget which game, but there was one game where the game was released to the public before the backers got it. That's not a good sign.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. And you know what? I still never beat Mighty Number 9 because that end boss was crap.
I don't even think I got past the first level.
So there you go. Anyway, I'm sure there's somebody out there that loved that game.
I don't know if it's all tiers or the high or certain tiers, but you're able to get your name in on the credits. So that's part of the reason why they have a July 3rd deadline to submit.
Are you going to have your name in the credits?
Yes.
Awesome. I'm going to play it now and beat it so I can see your name. It's a fantastic game. I mean, people should definitely have this on their radar. The demo is out right now on Nintendo Switch. If you haven't played it yet, you should definitely check it out. Super Chrono Trigger and Secret of Mana vibes. I love it. It's so good. Let's talk about Nintendo's release on Twitter tonight. Right before showtime, Nintendo drops 2 tweets in a row. The first announcing a brand new game coming out June 30th called Everybody 1-2 Switch. No trailer, no screenshots, just like a still image with the logo and a really creepy man in a horse mask and some people holding Joy-Cons and some people holding their phones. If you followed the link to the pre-order page, this game is coming out on June 30th for $30. And this is going to be, I guess, a sequel to 1-2 Switch. And if you remember about a year ago, there was a rumor that this was in development or was nearly finished. I'm actually looking at an article here from June 7th of 2022, where it said unannounced Nintendo sequel Everybody's 1-2 Switch could reportedly support 100 players, but it's claimed the game has tested poorly with families and children, so Nintendo sent it back to the drawing board said, now listen to this, okay? So we've seen the image, Jesse, right?
Yes.
So here it is. The game reportedly features a bipedal horse with the appearance of a man wearing a rubber animal mask who acts as a host and commentates on some games, including the flagship Team Battle mode.
Oh, boy.
So this is the game. It says it's claimed that Nintendo EPD Group 4 wanted to set the game apart from its predecessor. So it's not just more mini games. It is inspired by Jackbox games, which allows people to play on controllers or on their phones or tablets or whatever. Mini games are, at this time, this is from 2022, mini games were set to include musical chairs, bingo, and a take on Spin the Bottle, in which players have to compliment other people. However, this was said, feedback from playtesters was reportedly extremely negative, with many families with children labeling the games, quote, tedious.
Yeah.
So it's going to be an Animal Crossing board game all over again.
Yeah. The thing that caught my eye, when they talked about being able to use smartphones, they had double asterisk footnote. So finding the footnote that it's paired with says that a Nintendo account is still required. So it's not like Jackbox where you can have like a house full of strangers in or people who don't normally play Nintendo games, like if you're in like relatives from out of town for Thanksgiving, example, and you can play Jackbox games with no problem because it's just they enter in a 4-byte code and they can log in. But if the players all need Nintendo accounts, then you can't really play that with your grandma because your grandma not going to have an account.
Yeah, you're right.
And I'm not going to set one up for her.
This almost sounds like to me that it's going to run through the Nintendo Online app.
Oh, that's almost worse.
So you're going to have the app to use this. I don't know. It didn't say that, but anyway, this is actually what this did say is that Zippo, who is a noted Nintendo leaker, was right about this. So if we want to look into some other things that maybe he talked about around that time, maybe it would. But this game also comes with, and let me mention one other thing. The colors for this game on the 1 and the 2 are green and purple. And if you remember on the Wii, the Everybody Votes channel, the colors were green and purple.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
So I'm hoping that this is a return to my favorite feature from the Wii, which was the Everybody Votes channel. I really hope we're getting some more of that. I would love it. If they could revive that just as an app for the Switch, I would do it every day. So good. But not only is this coming out. Yeah, not only are these coming out, Nintendo has announced a new pastel-colored Joy-Con line that will also launch alongside the game on June 30th. Of course, there will be a set in pastel purple and pastel green, which seem to be the kind of de facto colors for this game. But they will also release a pastel pink and a pastel yellow color, which really, it kind of had me scratching my head. Like, why did it looks exactly like the same pink that Kirby is, and with the yellow being almost like a star color. Like, I wonder if these were supposed to release maybe alongside Kirby's Forgotten Land, and they just held them back. Because it's interesting to me.
Or being all pastel, I would have thought that maybe this would have been at least closer to like Easter time in April.
Yeah, that too. This is now 2
Not the
games.
End of spring.
This is now 2 games that we sound like they were ready in the spring of 2022 that were pushed back to 2023. One of them being Tears of the Kingdom, this one being Everybody 1-2 Switch.
Right.
I wonder if other stuff has been pushed back as well.
Oh, I'm not surprised.
It's just kind of weird.
Who knows what's on the Nintendo shelf?
Extend the lifespan of the Switch. Because remember, it was around that time in 2022 that they were talking about how do we extend the lifespan of this console? Because it's selling so amazingly.
Right.
So I know how you do it. You just push some of its games on further down the line.
Well, and again, it doesn't necessarily have to be a game that's ready only a year. Look at Star Fox 2. How long was that on the shelf before they released it?
Right? I mean, I still can't, a year of polish for Tears of the Kingdom. I see it every time I play. Holy cow. But I don't know that we'll see it.
People are hoping for Mother 3.
$30 party game.
Earthbound Beginnings, they did that with Mother 1. And then hopefully with Mother 3 someday.
It's sitting there. Reggie has it. He has it at his house. He's going to use it as a bargaining chip. So some other games, as we round out the news here, some other game release news and updates. WrestleQuest has finally gotten a date of August the 8th. That will be out later on this summer. Also, I'm insert here AEW Fight Forever, which is the AEW All Elite Wrestling. Their game is finally coming out. It finally got a release date, June 29th, as well as an Elite Edition that was announced today. They'll let you play 24 hours early and include 3 DLC packs and some pre-order bonus characters. And that is, if you ever remember like the WWE games that were on Nintendo 64, WrestleMania 2000, I think WCW, NWO Revenge, No Mercy. This game has been developed by that same team. So that old school arcadey style, it's the focus is not on like making it look as the best it can, but to play as best it can. And so there's already, I've seen like some people playing pre-release builds and stuff. There's some wild stuff already happening on there. Like one of the characters or one of the wrestlers rides a skateboard to the ring. His name's Darby Allin. And in this clip, he pulls the skateboard from under the ring, skateboards up the ramp, and kicks somebody in the face while he's doing a flip, like a spin on the skateboard. I was like, this is good. And apparently there's going to be like cage matches and exploding ring matches and all kinds of other stuff in there, as well as like mini games. Who knows what that's going to be. But anyway, that's out June 29th, June 28th if you pre-order it. Infinity Strash Dragon Quest, The Adventure of Dai, which is an incredibly weird name. It looks like Infinity's trash, but it's not.
Yeah, this and the next game came out of Dragon Quest's annual announcements at the end of May. I'm still waiting for Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D and hopefully a Dragon Quest 10 offline mode to release in North America. That was announced 2 years ago. Those haven't come out yet.
Did they not realize that says Infinity's trash?
Yeah, well, the word strash is used in the anime. So I know, but I can see why people.
Okay.
But yeah, I can see how someone who isn't in the know can see that and say, why do they name it this?
Okay. So that's out September 28th. Also, a new Dragon Quest Monsters game that you alluded to was announced to be in development for Nintendo Switch. No release timeframe given. Also, we have an update on Front Mission 2 Remake. It was supposed to be out on June 12th, but it's been delayed to the dreaded TBD. Instead, Front Mission First Remake will be getting released to PlayStation, Xbox, and PC on June 30th, which is really code for this didn't sell as well as we thought it would on Nintendo Switch, and so now we're going to have to make a new version for all those other systems too before we release a second one.
Because most people
right?
Yeah, most people probably saw the announcement for Front Mission 1 remake and said, like I did, never heard of it. Why do I need this?
Yep, exactly. Anyway, that's our news for this week. Now we're going to pause right here to take an ad break with our good friends from Manscaped.
I don't have a read, so I guess we have to do something on the
fly.
Well,
you know what? We're just going to talk about it. Jesse, you've been using Manscaped for a while. I've been using Manscaped for a while. All of us guys have been using Manscaped for a while in various forms, shape and forms. If Manscaped makes it, it's in my pantry, right? Or it's in my little medicine cabinet, right? I've got the beard stuff with the beard trimmer, which is awesome. It's fantastic. It's so easy to use. I've got the nose hair and ear hair trimmer. I've got the lawnmower. I've got the shed to keep it all in. I've got the beard balm. I've got the body wash. I've got all that stuff. But I want to tell you this. One of my new favorite products from Manscaped, I've just been using it for a short time, is the cologne. I don't know if a lot of people realize that Manscaped carries cologne, but they actually sell two versions of it, two different scents. It comes in this really cool looking bottle with like a big blocky stopper on the top of it that's really neat. And I use it every day. And I was not a cologne guy, but I love the scent of the body wash and the shampoo. And it's kind of similar to one of the colognes, but I got the other one, which is called Persevere. And I included it in my peak hygiene plan. So every 3 months, I get a new bottle of cologne and I get a new bottle of shampoo. It's delivered right to me. And not only do you save with that, but you also get, if you use the code NINDADS, that's NINDADS, you get 20% off your order plus free shipping. And that means if you like sign up for the peak hygiene plan, that means you get 20% off of that every time it ships. All right. So that code is active. Like, it locks that price in. You get free shipping, you get the 20% off, and you get some great products. And the cool thing is you can add to it or take away from it at any time, as long as you keep 2 products in there from their list. So
I've swapped mine around a few times. And
you can do the like it's. Go ahead.
Like, I think I currently have like the smaller thing of shampoo, but it gets to the point of I might have 2 or 3 of those laying around, and I'll swap it out to something else.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Like, let's be honest, fellas, it's summer right now, and the last thing that any of us want is for things to get swampy down there. You know what I'm talking about? And they have this wonderful stuff called Crop Preserver, and it's fantastic. It's like a lotion based like talcum powder thing that keeps everything moving correctly and dry down there. No chafing. It's fantastic. It is the number one weapon I use against summer heat. It's fantastic because, like, look, if you're a big old guy like I am and you got some big old legs, you need some help down there. All right. So if that doesn't sell Manscaped stuff, I don't, that sentence right there doesn't sell Manscaped stuff, I don't know what will.
Yeah, and I wanted to throw out that a few weeks ago, my son, who he's been a while since he shaved, and he has curly hair, so his beard kind of has a lot of tight curls. So it's he wanted to trim it, and he was going to use the back side of the regular electric razor. He wanted to use that to trim it. I'm like, no, that's not the right tool for the job. Use this, and let him borrow my beard trimmer. And he used it, and he says that was extremely easy. So he doesn't know this yet, and shush, no one tell him, but he's going to get a set for his birthday next month, or later this month.
He's listening right now. He's like, crap.
Yeah, he doesn't listen to this show.
Anyway, here's the deal. If you go over to manscaped.com right now and you use the code NINDADS, it's NINDADS, you'll save 20% off your order, and you'll get free shipping. And I guarantee you'll look better, you'll smell better, you'll feel better because you've used their products. They're quality. They are fantastic. They're right on time with their shipping, and they're just nice folks as well. So go ahead over to manscaped.com, use the code NINDADS, NINDADS, save yourself 20%, and save your summer and your balls with Manscaped. All right, guys. So it's been a few weeks now. We are just about 3 weeks or so after the release of Tears of the Kingdom. People have had time to dig into it. And I keep seeing people post like, man, I'm still running around. I haven't done anything yet. I'm just doing shrines. I'm just unlocking the map. I'm just going here. I'm going there. And so I wanted us to talk about this idea, this question, or actually somebody did because it's in our notes. But I think it's a good question. And here it is. Now that we've played it, is Tears of the Kingdom too big?
That's hard to answer because, in terms of other Zelda games or in terms of other Nintendo games, I think it might be. But I have not played any other open world game like Assassin's Creed or anything like that. I don't know how this world compares to those worlds. So someone who, is familiar with more games than just Zelda would have to answer that. But yeah, I am. So 2 temples in. So basically still less than halfway through the game. And I'm over 60 hours in. So it does feel like I can play for 2 days add 10 hours to my playtime. And while I'm accomplishing things, it still feels like I've done nothing. So, and that's not a good feeling to have.
Right.
And I talked about this a little bit last week, where I'm kind of, what motivates me on those long games is the story. So like Final Fantasy, Dragon Quest, Persona, they're a drip feed of story throughout the whole game. Where here, it's bottom loaded. And yeah, you can get some memories from if you know what you're doing, but still, those are 40 minutes worth of cutscenes out of a 200-hour game. It's insignificant still.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really there are some days that's really hard for me to want to continue to play because I don't have that motivation. I haven't gotten to the point where I'm ready to stop, but sometimes there was a few days ago there was a time that got close, and I said this in the Discord. I'll say it here. I do not like the temples. It's 3 weeks out. I think at this point, I think this is probably not spoilery anymore. But while it's an improvement over Breath of the Wild's temples, it's still the same format. Push 5 buttons, unlock the boss.
Yes and no. I get that it is the same format, like the end to a means, but it's way more contained. It feels so much better because I'm going to tell you, those stupid 3D maps of the beasts in Breath of the Wild. Whoever thought that was a good idea, come on. It's like the map in Metroid Prime. The map in Metroid Prime, to this day, I will say this. I changed my tune about Metroid Prime. I think it's a fine game, but the map system sucks. It's awful. Like, I don't want to see through layers. Show me rooms. Show me where to go. Show me what to do. And in the Tears of the Kingdom, they do that. Now, the problem with that is that the buttons being on different levels screws with my head, right? I thought the Fire Temple was going to kill me. I was done.
And that's the one that I just finished a few days ago, and that frustrated me.
Now, I will say this. The boss fight in that temple, extremely rewarding. That's what I'm more excited about with the temples, is that the boss fights are epic.
I didn't even like the boss fight. You know, I was able to figure out the first half of it right away, but the second half, I knew what I needed to do, but every time I performed it, I miss.
Yeah.
I couldn't hit the damn thing.
Well, maybe I just got lucky then, because I was getting them. I was hitting every time. And so, and on top of that, I had a very powerful weapon that was fused with a one of the block enemies, like what are they called? Not the construct, but the
I know what you're talking about, but I haven't seen one myself yet.
When you beat it, you get its heart or its core, and when you fuse it, it's like a plus 30 or a plus 40. And so I wailed on that boss. It was ridiculous.
Oh yeah, I didn't have a strong weapon like that. So it took. I had to knock it down probably 5 times per half.
Oh wow.
Because my weapon wasn't strong.
I knocked it down 4 times and it died. So
I needed 8 to 10 total.
Your feeling about the temples is how I feel about the depths. I hate it. I do not want to walk around in the dark.
I'm not.
I do not want to. I do.
I'm not a fan of the depths much either.
And then when someone told me that the light roots are just all under the shrines and they're reversed names from the shrines that are on the surface, and I went, "Oh God, there's 120 something light roots." I went, "Oh no."
Oh, I figured that one out when I unlocked with the second light root. I figured that one out on my own.
I just wasn't looking at the map, but now I'm like, so there's really like 240 shrines in this game.
Ish, yeah.
Actually I heard 150 shrines, and so that would mean 150 light roots too.
Well, not necessarily. I don't know, because there are shrines in the Sky Islands. I don't know if they map to a light root.
That's a good point.
So,
that's a good point.
But
I did see somebody.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So yeah,
I did see somebody in. Well, we're not matching up. Our audio's off for some reason, but
okay.
You're jumping across the screen as I'm watching you. So there must be some internet problems. But here's my point. My thing is, I read somebody's post on a message board or a group, Facebook group or something. But they said that they had done most of the shrines and they'd unlocked almost all of the depths and done all the light roots they could find, and they were 80 hours into the game.
I believe it.
And they're like, I guess it's time to do the first regional phenomenon.
Yeah. Yeah. So
that's nuts.
So I mentioned a few weeks ago that I created a spreadsheet where people can update their status. And part of it is...
I've not done that.
I noticed. But part of it is... That's all right. Is the maximum number of things, whatever I'm tracking. And a lot of it is, initially was question mark, or like Korok seeds was originally 900 question mark, thinking it was similar to breath. And then I think it's been confirmed now there's 1,000. It's still 900 events. It's 800 singles and 100 doubles from I need to find my friend for a total of 1,000. So, and then, Blanco and Hambone have been kind of updating it because they were the first two to finish it. They show 152 shrines. So that would be shrines on the surface and the air islands, Sky Islands, with 120 light roots. So it tells me there's 120 shrines on the surface and the last 32 are somewhere else.
Wow. Here, I guess where I would fall in this is I don't think the game is too big. I think that I don't want to unlock the map twice.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Like nobody asked for this. The depths would have been great in pockets.
Blanco literally now updated his hours played to 130.
Wow. I don't have that much time in a week to do things besides like work and do family stuff. I don't see how people do that. I wish I had that much time. Please don't hear me being negative when I say that. Like, I wish that I had that much time to play, but I don't. And I would be a little bit further, but seriously, the depths creep me out. It's like the upside down in Stranger Things. I don't like it. I don't like climbing around down there in the dark. I don't like having a finite number of things to shoot that can get me more light. I've never liked levels in video games where you are limited light. I just don't like it at all.
Yeah. And
so I don't go down there. I don't. I unlocked the last ability. So I guess are we post spoiler territory now? There is an ability that you have to go down into the depths to get.
I think we can talk about that ability at this point. It's been 3 weeks.
So it's the auto build ability.
And Nintendo mentioned it pre-launch, so we knew it was.
Yeah.
We knew it was there. We just didn't know how to get it at the time.
But there's an ancient dig site that you have to find to unlock the ability. Once you're there, a construct will wake up, like you'll be able to wake it up with the hand symbol and it'll give it to you. And when that happens, you get attacked by Koga, who apparently was banished into the depths in the first game after you defeated him. And he's been down there the whole time.
Didn't know the depths even existed. We thought
I was really, really excited when most of the time I spent up until that point, I didn't encounter any Yiga clan and there were no guardians. I was really excited about that because
I came across Yiga before I found Koga.
So Koga attacks you. You have to beat him. He actually has the ability to make a vehicle as well. And so he's like basically using an ability like yours to do that. And once you beat him, which is he's not all that hard, but he can be challenging, you're able to, like, it kind of opens up, like the depths kind of open up a little bit more, like you have to go find him again. So there's going to be another fight. I haven't found him again.
Yeah. And then
mainly because all I'm doing is on the surface.
Yeah. And then it does open up additional quests where having auto build is very useful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I will say that. Can I say this too? Speaking of creepy, have you encountered the phantom hands?
Yeah,
the gloom hands.
Gloom hands, yeah, they freaked me out.
Oh my gosh! The first time
I found one, I only had 4 hearts, so I'm like, I have no chance. I am dead.
The first time I actually found that, I actually physically screamed out loud because I did not know what was happening. I thought my game was possessed. I was like, what is going on? And I was like, okay, I'm just going to say this. I was like, okay, I've got the Master Sword. Nope. Doesn't help.
Nope.
Because they grab you and then you get gloom and it sucks. And they will kill you so fast. I don't think this game is too big. I think it's meant to take time. But to that end, I also replied to John Wall of Midlife Side Quest this week. Actually today, where he was sharing a link about Spider-Man 2 on the PlayStation, saying the devs, are bragging, oh, the map is 2 times as big. It's bigger than Spider-Man 1. And he was kind of like, do we really want this? Like, do we really want a map that's bigger than,
kind of don't.
And I agree with him. I don't like, I think we need to normalize 15 to 20 hour games again. Like games that you can finish in a week or a weekend. I'm okay with that. Like if it wants to have extra stuff and you want to dive into that, great. But I don't need it's like, yeah, our map is the size of the United States, mile for mile. It takes you 20 hours to run across the map. I don't need that. Nobody wants that.
Right. Or
maybe you do, and you're just not me. I don't want it. So I don't think most gamers want that.
I do want to add, this is before I did the Goron temple, but so I was in the I'm not having fun with this mood. I'm kind of grouchy with this, but I came across a quest completely blind to me. I read nothing about this quest line, and I kind of don't want to talk much about it in details so other people can find it as well. But I once I opened that up, I really drilled down and focused my time on that quest, and it took me probably 3 or 4 hours to do it, and that was probably the funnest 3 or 4 hours in that I played that weekend. So yeah, there definitely is fun to be had when you find things that are truly unknown to you. And
I'm really
I mentioned this
in
the Discord. Blanco asked what was the name of the quest. I said it in a spoiler tag, and he never replied. So I don't know if that's a quest he found or not.
I'm really enjoying the sense of exploration in this. Like I'm just having a great time wandering everywhere and finding quests and enemies and stuff. And so like I don't know, like I'm having a great time with it. It's hard for me to find negatives with this game, and because we talked about it so much, I won't talk about it much when we talk about what we've been playing. But 2 regional phenomenon in, and I've got about 13 hearts and all the abilities and the Master Sword, and all my towers are unlocked. And
I don't even have the Master Sword yet.
Stuff. Can I just say that, like, without spoiling it, like, I'm not going to give any details. The memories in this game are so much better than the memories in the first game.
I'll agree with that.
And they actually tell what is like a real. I know the first one did, but there were like a lot of jumps between them. This is like like a super cohesive story that we've not really seen, like in the Zelda. Like, to me, I don't think we've seen anything like this in the Zelda series, and it's beautiful. And there's real emotion, or was for me, in those memories. And there, of course, you get one when you beat the original Phenomenon too. So I'm looking forward to the other two that I'm going to unlock there, because I feel things for these characters.
Yeah, I mentioned this to my son yesterday. I go, have you seen it where, like, if you have a married couple, one person's little upset at something that the other one did, but instead of being really aggressive and angry about it, they'll just kind of do a jab in the side, just boom. So one of the memories does that exact thing, and I was amused.
Yes. Yeah, it's good stuff. It's good stuff. But I'm going to be playing this game for the rest of the summer. Like, I know people have already beat it. I know. I'm really just working to avoid.
Oh yeah, Matthew's rolled credits as well. So far we have 3 people on our sheet.
I can't do it. And I've got to find more stuff first. But anyway, well, that's
I currently have 14 hearts and 2 stamina rings. So I definitely need more shrines.
I've got 2 stamina rings and 13 hearts, so working on more.
So we're about at the same point.
I just find shrines and just mark them and then go when I can.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm not discovering things.
So when you do get to the point when you start needing, light roots, what I've been doing is every time I find a new shrine, I'll put a mark on the lower level saying, okay, there's a light root here.
Oh, that's a good idea.
And then flip it. If I find a light root that I haven't found a shrine to yet on the top, I'll mark that on the surface map, because there's plenty of shrines in caves. So if I know there's a shrine here somewhere and it's not on the surface, it's in a cave somewhere, so you start looking for caves.
Those cave shrines are terrible. That's a terrible decision. I mean, it's great for the game. Like, I get it. I get why they did it. I mean, it's brilliant, but I hate them. It's not the best. Well, let's talk about some events, shall we? So let's talk about the table. Every third Friday of the month at 10 p.m. Eastern, the community gets together at the table, which is otherwise known as the Discord voice chat room, to discuss what's on everyone's mind. And this month, the table is going to be on June the 16th. June the 16th at 9 p.m. Central Time, 10 p.m. Eastern. And again, if you're wondering about the table, we don't record this show because it's more like family therapy for some people. And so it's just a place to come and be and exist and let it all hang out. We play some games together sometime. Sometimes we just talk. And so you can join up by being a member of our Discord. And you do that by going over to patreon.com/NintendoDads and joining up, or you can get access to our Discord through throwing us a subscription through Twitch Prime over on Twitch and Amazon. So if you would like to join in, just be a member of the Discord before the 16th, and we'd love to have you on the dinner table. And you can get access not only to that, but a schwack load of events like Monthly Mayhem, which is going on until June 10th. Right now, it's Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Dads After Dark is running this, and they said, here's the process. Take a screenshot in Zelda that best represents each category. The categories are Dads After Dark, Life is Good, Dumb Ways to Die, or Random Drawing. You post a screenshot in the appropriate channel on the Discord, and John and Drew will do a live judging during a podcast episode announcing the winner. Each category winner will receive $10, and one random person will win $10 for entering. So you have a chance to win, $10 just for snapping a photo there in Tears of the Kingdom. You got to be a member of the Discord, though, to play Monthly Mayhem. And so if you're a member, head over and look at the Monthly Mayhem channel, see what other folks have been up to, and submit your own photos over there as well. Let's talk about what we've been playing. Well, since Tim's not here, we'll talk about what he's been playing first. He's been playing End of Lines, which is a first look on our channel right now over at YouTube. It's an interactive choose your own adventure like graphic novel. And he's also been playing Warhammer 40,000 Boltgun, which is a first look on our channel as well. He says this is a Duke Nukem like game.
Nope.
Or Doom Nukem. Yep. A Doom Nukem. That's really hard to say. Doom Nukem like game. Yes, I said Doom Nukem, straight out of the 90s. He said it looks like it is too. So I don't know what that means, but he does say it's his current fave. So you can go over and check those two videos out and see what all the fuss is about. Jesse, what have you been playing?
I haven't played anything besides Tears of the Kingdom and more PokerStars VR. So I'm not going to talk about that, so nothing to talk about here.
Gotcha. I wanted to mention a couple games I've been playing that I've got videos up for on our channel as well, and I won't mention them for very long because you can go watch and see what you think. I actually got to do a first look of Bat Boy, which is a brand new indie platformer out on Switch right now. It's very heavily inspired by Mega Man, and I would even say Shovel Knight. You play as a literal Bat Boy, like a kid who is a superhero named Bat Boy, who is like, it's baseball inspired. All of your friends who are actually the bosses in the game because they get corrupted are all sports themed superheroes, like soccer players and wrestlers and tennis stars and dancers. And so you literally fight with a bat. So you can do melee combat, or you can actually hit enemy projectiles back at them. But with each boss you defeat, you learn a new skill that you can use, like a bat throw or different kinds of things like that. It's super, super fun game. Great music, awesome visuals. If you love Shovel Knight or Mega Man, I really want to encourage you to check that out. And then, speaking of Mega Man, Protodroid DeLTA is out on Nintendo Switch right now, and this is a 3D Mega Man X inspired shooter platformer. So if you imagine Mega Man X in the 3D space, that is what Protodroid DeLTA is. It's a very interesting cast of characters. I got to play the first level live on stream. And so you should go check that out. It does have a few little quirks and little frame rate issues, but if you don't want to, if that wouldn't bother you and you like the look of it, I would definitely encourage you to check this out. It was super fun. At least the game's mechanics were a lot of fun. I haven't gotten a lot of chance to dig into that more, like I have Bat Boy, because of Breath of the Wild. But I definitely recommend Protodroid DeLTA, and you can go check that out over at our YouTube channel right now, as well as lots of other stuff. We've got videos up right now for Planet of Lana and Fights in Tight Spaces. Garden Simulator, we've got a video for that coming out soon. Dark Quest 3, Cassette Beasts, which is a Pokemon-inspired RPG featuring like monsters that are inside of cassettes. So it's kind of retro. And other stuff up as well. So go be sure to check that out over there. That's what we've been playing. Let's answer some questions from the community. Most of our questions this week are from Discord. And so we'll start there. Ebucel asks, from Nintendo Dads to Ebucel, this is a note from us to Ebucel. We're sorry we missed your question last week for Kelsey and David, but we will try to answer one of the questions you had. So here it is. Have any of the dads tried the Master Sword glitch, where you can move it from the pregame to a save post-hand chop so it's not broken and damaged?
I have not. I think Matthew did.
I did not do that. I didn't even know you could do that.
Yeah, I think I heard
people. Y'all have way more time than I do.
I think I heard NBC talk about it last week as well. Oh, and speaking of that, he hasn't updated his game to 1.1.2 yet, just so we can continue item. duping. So he showed me a screenshot of, at one point he had over 90 rubies. He has over 350,000 rupees.
Wow.
And I'm like, I have 180 rupees right now. Shut up.
Yeah. I updated. I wouldn't even know what to do with all that stuff. So no, I don't think we have, but Matthew has, because he's a cheater. Yep. I could say that because he's not on here and he's not listening, like you said. Koopa Kid 80, David Bileka asked us this: with the Impact of Iwata book on Kickstarter, what other books would you like to see released, perhaps containing the history of or the story of a Nintendo employee, developer, franchisee, or specific time period? I
would probably
It's a great question.
I would probably say Ayanuma.
Yeah.
Since I don't think I know anything about him other than he's been the Zelda guy since N64 era.
I would love. I would really love a book from Howard Lincoln.
Yeah, that'd be a fun one.
The original, I mean, like, he was the dude, right? I mean, he was the guy who they were handing games to and be like, you think this would fly in North America? You think that they would like this? I mean, really, I would love some of his stories. And I would add this, a book written by Sakurai would be awesome.
Well, he's already got his YouTube channel. He puts out 3 or 4 videos.
Yeah, I know, but
that's
I mean,
more,
like,
that's more about
it's kind of his
game design concepts as opposed to his history.
I would love his, like, the story of Smash Brothers, like, you know, like how that, like, or just his life story, man. I love biographies, so I think that would be great. And I say that, and I don't even own Reggie's book, and I would love to own Reggie's book. I need to buy it.
I buy books, but I almost never read them. So I have the Reggie book. I have the Ask Iwata book. I kickstarted the other Iwata book.
Yep. Wow. Okay, great question. Another one from David. He asked this in Patreon. He says, Zelda and Link in a relationship? Could Ganon possibly be involved as a third piece to this love triangle? I'm going to say love triforce, because that sounds better.
There you go.
I'm waiting for a Legend of the Zelda rom-com to release on Netflix. Thoughts?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if rom-com would work well, but that is a funny thought. But
I would love a Zelda show, though. That would be great.
Yeah, and I think we said it before. I think a longer form TV format where they can really, focus on a longer arc as opposed to a 90-minute movie where they have to rush things.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think that would be great. Like, can we please get more Nintendo media, like shows, movies? I'm here for all of it. Right?
Yeah.
I'm seriously here for all of it.
So wait until I'm done playing Tears of the Kingdom, because my anime backlog is backing up because I'm not watching anime because I'm playing game.
Yeah, that's true. It's around me. I'm looking at the Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past manga that I have over here in the collected graphic novel.
Oh yeah, I have like a treasure chest full of manga of almost all the games, and again, I haven't read any of them.
These were the ones that were published in Nintendo Power back in the day, along with the Mario comic. And so I love both of those. I need to, Mario comic was weird, but it was so much fun. He also asked this: ever notice how many first-party Nintendo games seem to have a specific time of year that Nintendo likes to release them in. Pikmin and Splatoon in summer, Zelda in March, May, Mario around the holidays, Kirby and Yoshi springish. Would these games do well or possibly better at a different time of year? Is summer the best spot for Pikmin? Would it get more exposure in, example, October? Your thoughts?
I don't really think changing when announcements happen would affect the exposure, or released would affect the exposure all that much. We've seen this pattern for years, and I'm sure we've talked about it even back in 2016, 2017, 2018, saying, oh yeah, this game will get this slot, this game will get this slot. So yeah, we've seen this happen, but I don't think things would change much if they shuffled it around. The game will sell what they will sell. Of course, I'm not in marketing, so I could be completely wrong.
But I mean, we've seen Zelda come out at different times.
Yeah, Zelda normally comes out in holidays as well, but 2017 didn't because it was a launch for the Switch, and this one didn't because it was delayed. It was going to be.
And Link's Awakening came out in September.
Mm-hmm.
So, I do think there are some, like, Pokemon always.
Yeah, go ahead.
Pokemon always comes out in November, right?
Yeah.
And why do they put it out in November? Because they know kids are going to ask for it for Christmas. Parents are going to buy it.
Yeah,
right.
Just like Call of Duty always comes out the first week in November. That's a clockwork thing. So yeah, there are some games that are clockwork.
Yep. Spider Shan asked, how far is Marty in Tears of the Kingdom and how does he like it so far? I think I've already talked about this, but I would say 30 to 35 hours in, if you want to put a time frame on it. I don't have my Switch right here to go check. So, but I was getting up there, and I love it. I can't quit playing it. So anyway, Hoots, assuming you guys are as addicted to Tears of the Kingdom as I am, what was the first thing to fall out of your routine to take more time to play? Sleep, parental responsibilities, showing up to work a little later, the gym. I don't know. Playing other games. That would be.
Yeah, that's probably my answer, because I still get as much sleep as I normally get, which is still not enough. But if before Tears of the Kingdom came out, I was still going to sleep between midnight and 2 every night anyway. I would be playing something else. But now, again, the only 2 games I've been playing for the last 3 weeks has been Tears and poker.
There you go. Yeah. Yeah, I've actually dipped a little bit back into Fortnite because of the Star Wars event. And then I found out that Optimus Prime is going to be a skin in Chapter 4. And so I'm going to get it just to get Prime. But
you're going to be human-sized Prime. That's not fun.
I don't care. All I'm hoping is that he has an emote that makes him transform and you can drive across the map that way.
He better.
Oh.
Otherwise, what's the point? Right.
Well, those are our questions for this week. And so that means we are at the end of episode 429 of Nintendo Dads. And so we want to thank you for hanging out with us tonight. I know the crew was a little thin, but we appreciate you guys. And truly, we love each and every one of you who listens or supports us on Patreon or Twitch, or subscribes to any of our social media or videos or anything. And so as we close out the show, we want to say a huge thanks to our Patreon producers. That's Dave Ernsberger, RJ Kern, and Jacqueline Amira, and Solo Something, as well as our 90+ other patrons who help keep this show on the road. And a special shout out to our 23 Twitch subscribers, over 1,400 Twitch followers, and we're just 8 shy of 6,800 YouTube subscribers over there at youtube.com. We thank each and every one of you. We would not be here without you, and we mean that. We would not be at episode 429 if it wasn't for our fans and friends of the show. Be sure to head over to nintendodads.org for all of our Spotify podcasts, for the show, or for all of our shows, including Game Pass News, Dads After Dark, Retro Logic family of podcasts like Retro Logic on Top Retro Groove, and Film Logic. Our latest YouTube videos and tweets, access to all our social media, Patreon, and Extra Life pages, and of course, Nintendo Dads merch. And don't forget to check out our sponsors like Manscaped.com, where you can get 20% off your order and free shipping with the code NINDADS. That's NINDADS. Be sure to contact us in most places just by typing in Nintendo Dads, or you can email us at nintendodads@gmail.com, or call in and leave a voicemail like our good friend Christian does at 929-25-NDADS. That's 929-256-3237. Big thanks to OC Remix for the music used throughout the show. And remember, wherever you download us from your favorite podcast app of choice, wherever you listen to the audio version, go give us a 5-star review and leave some comments. It helps other people find the show. Guys, I'm going to miss you this summer, but I promise I'm going to be back late July, early August. I'll see you then. Until then, the rest of these guys are going to hold it down and do a fantastic job. And who knows, I'm probably going to pop up and do some reviews, news, stuff over on YouTube and stuff. Maybe stream a little bit this summer with the few days that I have at home. But anyway, it's been a pleasure. And we'll see you in a couple of months. For me and the rest of the dads, this has been episode 429. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to Nintendo Dads.